little Cowboys news or not. How about that? As we get closer to training camp, I'm going to ask you guys, is this a newsworthy story or not?
Nope.
This
is not new news.
Terrible story, Brian.
Okay. Cowboys team health going into camp. News or not?
Yeah, major story. Not only the guys who are coming back, the tackles and Dak, but Amari Cooper. I think health has got to be the biggest factor in winning and losing, right? After talent, assuming talent's the same.
Yeah, did a thing where they took everybody's injuries since, 2010 or whatever, and your wins above replacement if you try to assign that to players. And last year's 49ers and last year's Dallas Cowboys are the most hurt teams in terms of losing guys that matter.
Wow.
In the last 10 years.
Wow.
Last year's 10 years and last year's Cowboys
Jeez.
are the most hurt team of the last decade. So it was a ton. It hurts a lot when you lose your starting quarterback, your starting left tackle, your starting right tackle, and on and on and on. So it's a giant story. And it's always funny to me that at this time of year, everybody's the healthiest they've ever been.
Right.
They're all going to play forever.
Right.
And some of them I'll start going, ooh, maybe. Like Tyron. It's like, oh, maybe that did fix that, which fixes that. And hot damn, Tyron's going to be incredible for another 5 years. So it's, huge story.
Yeah, I like where you guys are going here. I think that I didn't know that about the last 10 years.
I didn't either.
Man,
because think about it. When you try to create like a wins above replacement, quarterback's going to be big,
exactly.
left tackle, right tackle.
Exactly.
Those are going to be huge.
Yeah, I do think team health is a huge story going in as well. But, man, I didn't realize it was that strong. Gentlemen, Cowboy rookie players on defense.
That's the question?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Fingers crossed. That's my answer.
Well, is it news that in a way that all these guys, they're going to rely on these rookies to play?
Yeah.
I mean, is that news, or is that not a big story in your mind?
No, I think it's a really big story because I think the Cowboys having a good defense, like legitimately good NFL defense, to me, the idea of that is probably 12 months away. Because I think that they're going to be relying a decent amount on either Nashawn Wright or Kelvin Joseph as a starting corner at some point, whether it's week one or not. I think that Oso Odigizua on the defensive line, Chauncey Golston on the defensive line, Micah Parsons is obviously big time. Jabril Cox is going to become a part of that. So I think they've laid the foundation for a good defense. I'm just not crazy enough to look at 6 or 7 defensive players as rookies and be like, bam, here you go. Good defense coming. But how those guys play, because they had so many picks and they invested so many of them on the defensive side, how those guys do is a huge story because it determines whether you're going to have a good defense over the next 5 years or not.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to do something unexpected. And they picked so many guys that, there's 3 on the defensive line that could have an impact. Obviously, 2 linebackers, 2 corners. If you just get one guy to hit at each level, the defense could be significantly better. And if you get a couple of all-rookie defensive players, Micah Parsons, Kelvin Joseph, probably the best chances of doing that, then, I think we're all pretty dang sure this offense is going to be good, maybe even great. And if it could creep somewhere inside, just close to the top 10 in scoring defense, that might be your ticket to what we've all been hoping for.
Yeah, I like what you guys are saying. I do think this is a huge story, and I might even put it up there with the Cowboy health part of it. And that's why I asked them, one after the other right there, because to me, that's those kids showing up and playing, they're going to need every one of those guys, I think, that they drafted.
Yeah, and, I guess Jeff and I were kind of thinking upside, but you got to avoid the downside as well. Yeah. You can't have too many misses in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right. Okay, and we're doing Cowboys news or not. Ezekiel Elliott off-season workouts.
Absolutely. I think for the first time in his professional career, he hit a level where he, was self-aware and honest with himself. Last offseason, he was like, look at the stats or Google me or whatever when he was on with Sean and RJ, and it was like, yeah, we are. It's not good. And I don't think he could hide from it. I think he hit an age where he's like, oh, wow, I am feeling a little less, spunky or whatever the right word is. So I think it's a massive story because if he's great, he's one of the few backs in the NFL with the talent level to be an absolute difference maker.
I believe that the Zeke thing, while maintaining that running backs don't really matter, that he looks better. He looks the best that I've seen him since probably his rookie year. And I'm literally basing that off of videos on the internet. But I know the Cabo year, when he showed up,
sure,
he wasn't ready to play football. At least not at the level that we were used to seeing him play football.
Right.
I think that he's going to be in better shape, that he's going to be more evasive, I'm a believer.
I like it too. I think the workouts, I think that the one advantage I've had right now is to go and watching those practices. And the couple of times I've seen him, you could see video workout being transferred to on the field. So I think that's a good news story there. How about this one, guys? Cowboys news or not, coaches getting to work with players on the field.
It's news. I wish it wasn't. I wish that a year ago, your humans that were employed to be the best football coaches on planet Earth knew how to teach using technology. But the fact that they weren't, I think it's big. I think this is the time of year when everybody's optimistic about everything. Or
Absolutely.
A lot of people are, right?
Yep.
Like the team is feeling good. Every team right now is feeling real good about themselves. But I really, just off of his words, I buy into the Dan Quinn thing. Based off of listening to Dan Quinn and listening to people talk about Dan Quinn, I buy into the idea that the Cowboys defensive coordinator is a smart dude, is hands-on, is a capable teacher. I'm buying those things.
I think it is important. I think the players learn in different ways. They got a lot of young guys who need that, individual technique stuff. It always blows me away how ill-prepared some of these guys are coming from college. And, maybe that scheme change or talent issue in college, and the coaches have to spend their time on guys that can't play naturally. But whatever the case, I am surprised when guys come into the NFL and are not prepared, and I think it was a big blow to them last year.
And my final one for you guys, the possibility of Mike McCarthy being on the hot seat, news or not.
Yeah, I think it's significant if you're gone after 2 years. Yeah, I think that's big. I think that's an epic flop fail and would probably be the end of his head coaching career.
Yeah, if he doesn't win the division, I think he's fired. So I think the hot seat thing is relevant because I think it's true. If they don't win 10-plus games, if they don't win the NFC East, you never know with Jerry. They might like him enough to be like, yeah, let's give him 8 more years. But
let's extend. He's learning on the job.
Yeah, I think that he was brought into a situation with a good quarterback, with a good offensive line, with a good running back, with these good wide receivers, because they were mad that Jason Garrett couldn't get over the hump.
Right.
So if you can't get to the hump that Garrett couldn't get over, you're fired.